The smile on Zidong's face instantly stiffened, his face twitching constantly. Even Zilong opened his eyes suddenly and stared at Yang Kai deeply. Even when his temperament is well recuperated, he was also angered by Yang Kai. If it weren't for the 7 bright treasure light that could swallow even the power of the divine soul, he would definitely use the divine soul skills to turn Yang Kai into a real idiot and shut him up. But right now, even if he had any opinions on Yang Kai, he could only endure it, and couldn't really do anything to Yang Kai. He believed that Yang Kai had also seen this, so he was so unscrupulous. I, Zidong, swear that I will give you a taste of human torture in a while. Zidong gritted his teeth and said in a very bitter tone. He is really mad. He was humiliated by Yang Kai 3 times in front of his father, and even implicated his father. How could he bear this kind of thing? Yang Kai must pay an extremely painful price to resolve his hatred. I'm so scared. Yang Kai looked at Zidong coldly, but boy, swearing this kind of thing can't be done casually. If you fail to achieve it by then, you will be condemned by heavenly punishment. Zidong glared at Yang Kai and said nothing. He could see that he was not Yang Kai's opponent at all in the verbal fight. After all, he hadn't had such experience before. After being provoked by Yang Kai several times, he was completely unable to stabilize his mind, and his face was almost distorted. On the side, Zilong frowned. Zidong was blinded by anger, and he might not have noticed the insidiousness of Yang Kai's words just now, but as a powerful Void King realm with rich experience, how could he not know the hidden meaning? Yang Kai's words sounded okay on the surface, like he was just having a meaningless argument with Zidong. But if you think about it carefully, it is extremely vicious. Because once Zidong failed to do what he said in his oath, then Yang Kai's existence would definitely become his heart demon. Zidong is now in the 3rd order Void Return stage, and the next breakthrough is the Big Realm to Void King realm. This level is extremely critical and important. If the heart demon attacked Zidong when he broke through, it would cause him a huge disturbance, or perhaps it would make him fail the breakthrough, and the end result is his soul being annihilated. So when Zilong heard Yang Kai say this, he realized how bad Yang Kai was. This kid is not a person with abnormal brains at all, but why does he have to challenge his limits again and again while he is obviously alone? Not only did he offend him, but even Su Wei was offended by him. What exactly did he want to do? He has so much confidence that he can escape under the nose of him and Su Wei? Someone with extremely high cultivation level like Zilong, who have a lot of knowledge. At this moment, he don't know what Yang Kai is doing. However, judging from the current situation, this kid is absolutely not allowed to live. As long as he survives, he will become the heart demon that interferes with Zidong's promotion, so he must die. Zilong secretly made up his mind, and once the 7 bright treasure light retreated, he would do his best to abolish Yang Kai, and then let Zidong complete his vow. After abolishing Yang Kai, he will go to grab the comprehension principle flower from Su Wei. He is confident that with his own strength, it is not difficult to do this step. Boy! Su Wei yelled again, with an impatient tone. The old man asks you one last thing, do you want to cooperate with the old man? Fuck off! Yang Kai turned his head to look in Su Wei's direction, with a disdainful expression on his face. Which onion are you count as, do I need to cooperate with you? Good, good. Su Wei was also very angry with Yang Kai. The expression was cold and stern. The old man will see how you will die. There is no doubt in his mind that Yang Kai will die. Su Wei believes that he does not need to make a move, and Zilong will not let Yang Kai go. So he doesn't bother to win over Yang Kai anymore and prepare to sit on the mountain and watch the tiger fight. Don't worry about it. Yang Kai chuckled lightly and stretched out his body. Twisting his neck and shaking his shoulders, a crackling sound came out, seeming to be talking to himself. He seems to be telling Zilong and Su Wei, it's almost done, I won't waste saliva with you. He put on a look of ready to do something special. The other 3 people watched it for a moment, not knowing what Yang Kai wanted to do. But the next moment, the eyes of the 3 widened in an instant, staring at Yang Kai's movements in a daze. All expressions of surprise appeared on their faces. On the other side, Yang Kai actually took a step forward with indifferent expression. Then, he took another step forward, and then took another step forward. After 2 steps, he has come to the edge of the safe space provided by the space cracks behind him. As long as he go 1 inch further forward, he will rush into the 7 bright treasure light, and the situation is extremely dangerous. Why? You know you die, and want to commit suicide? Xiaodong sneered. He couldn't think of other possibilities. Although this was unlikely, it was already the closest guess to the truth he could get. Yang Kai looked up at him, did not pay attention to what he meant, just stepped forward again and stepped forward. Haha. Xiaodong laughed loudly, and it seemed that he didn't need to do it personally at all to get out of the bad mood in his heart. But his laughter just started, and it stopped abruptly. In his vision, Yang Kai suddenly disappeared, as if he had never appeared before. At that moment, Yang Kai's body surged with a wonderful energy fluctuation. Where did you go? Xiaodong was stunned, but the next moment, from the corner of his eye, he saw a figure suddenly appeared on the other side. Xiaodong looked around and couldn't help exclaiming. If the figure that suddenly appeared was not Yang Kai who had just disappeared under his eyelids. Who will it be? At this moment, Yang Kai has come to another safe zone, and this safe zone is the place where the 5 comprehension principal flowers grow. Behind the hillside where the 5 comprehension principal flowers grow, there is a space crack. It is the shelter of this space crack that prevents them from being covered by the 7 bright treasure light. When Yang Kai appeared, he happened to be standing next to the comprehension principal flowers. Xiaodong looked at him with a dazed look. He looked at Yang Kai and where he was before. He couldn't figure out what kind of secret technique Yang Kai used to overcome the barrier of space in an instant, and appeared in a place 100 meters away. By his side, Zilong's eyes shrank, as if he had seen something terrifying, his eyes shone with astonishing light. Space Force! Su Wei yelled, pointing to Yang Kai's direction, and yelling with a gong-like voice, "Boy, are you proficient in Space Force? How can you be proficient in Space Force?" Su Wei's expression was like seeing a ghost in the daytime, unpredictable and extremely wonderful. Space Force! Xiaodong was stunned, but soon, he realized what Su Wei was talking about. For a moment, he looked at Yang Kai, full of jealousy. The Space Force is a force that is extremely partial. It is difficult to get started, and it is even more difficult to master. In the entire star territory, there are hundreds of thousands of cultivators. How many of them understand Space Force? This number will never exceed 1,000 people. And among these 1,000 people, how many people can cultivate Space Force to a high and deep state? Xiaodong didn't know, but he knew that such a person was absolutely rarer than the Void King grade alchemy expert. Their Violet Star also has a martial artist who cultivates Space Force. But it is impossible to achieve the degree of Yang Kai who can teleport a distance of hundreds of meters while ignoring the space barriers. That is a real teleportation, not an illusion that was caused when the speed is too fast. The few martial artists of Violet Star who cultivated Space Force only knew how to repair the space law formation. They couldn't even use their Space Force to do other things. Even so, the status of those people in the Violet Star is extremely high, and the treatment is even higher than ordinary foreign elder. Those few people can be regarded as the gems of Violet Star. But right now, compared with what Yang Kai did, those people are mud and cloud apart. If Yang Kai's accomplishments in Space Force are a master, then those few people are just new martial arts disciples. Even with the eyes of Xiaodong, the two are completely incomparable. What kind of chance does this unknown kid have, and why can he cultivate Space Force, even reaching this kind of level? Xiaodong looked at Yang Kai as if his eyes were about to spit fire, the flames of jealousy were burning, and his heart was extremely unbalanced. He is the young master of Violet Star, in a privileged position. Why didn't he get a good start in Space Force? If he can master this power, it's definitely better than practicing any powerful cultivation technique. Xiaodong clenched his fists, his eyes filled with unwillingness. So that's it. Zilong took a deep breath, and there was no triumphant expression on his face that he showed before, but he was extremely solemn. It turns out that you rely on this. No wonder you dared to speak so badly before. Yang Kai smiled and did not deny it. Not many people know that he is proficient in Space Force, and he has been hiding it, but at this moment, facing the attraction of the 5 comprehension principal flower, he has to expose it. Comprehension principal flowers are extremely rare, especially the 5 lavender flowers in front of him. They are very old. If he miss it this time, it will be difficult to find comprehension principal flowers in the future. Yang Kai's make the best choice out of the 2 he have. Boy, you seem to be called Yang Kai. Zilong's temperament is undoubtedly much better than that of his son. After knowing that Yang Kai is actually proficient in the Space Force, although he was shocked, he quickly stabilized his mind and asked. Although he had not paid much attention to Yang Kai, he had also vaguely heard Shuiyu's address Yang Kai before, so he remembered his name. So what? Yang Kai sneered at Zilong. Zilong chuckled, not at all angry at his attitude, but said cheerfully, "This king attacked you before, it was my fault." He had a sincere look when he spoke. Father Zidong looked at Zilong in astonishment, with an incredible face. To be continued.